Do you know someone who is facing foreclosure of their house? Wanted to drop this quick little video to give you a little bit of hope and information. So the main thing to know about foreclosures is it takes a while for that process to complete. And the good news is that that process is long enough and the real estate market has gone up enough that in most cases, you can sell that house, close the transaction, and put probably tens of thousands of dollars in your bank account. Avoid the foreclosure, all within 60 days. My name is Kyle Sasser. I am a short sale and foreclosure designated real estate agent. I went through specialized training to learn how short sales and foreclosures work. And I have helped many people that were facing foreclosures accomplish exactly what I said in the first part of this video. The one that always pops to my mind is I had some clients, they'd owned their condo since the late 80s, paid it off, and then had refinanced it or taken out a mortgage on it again to, go on some trips, do some upgrades, that sort of thing. Very common. Unfortunately, after about 13 years, they were at a point to where they could no longer make the mortgage payment. And, the mortgage company had sent threatening letters, had filed court documents for them, and the process had started. They, meanwhile, had entirely moved out of their condo. They had moved in with family members, had gotten themselves situated, and completely gave up and just counted that condo as lost. Thankfully, somebody mentioned it to me, and I told them to please immediately contact me. So thankfully, somebody mentioned it to me, and I explained that more than likely they could sell that condo, pay off the foreclosure, avoid the foreclosure, and put money in their bank account. The wife, she was super nice, and she was very gung-ho. Wow, this sounds amazing. The husband, he did not believe me at all. He didn't believe me when we did the cleanup on the condo. He didn't believe me when, we took the professional photos and put it up for sale. He didn't even believe me when we got a contract on that condo within a couple weeks. During the closing of the contract, he didn't believe me when the inspection came back and the buyer was okay with it and we got that worked out. Didn't believe me when the seller got the clear to close. And literally, I remember being at the closing table with them, with the notary, signing the papers, and he literally said, "I still do not believe this is happening." And I said, "Mr. Seller, it's definitely closing. I will call you tomorrow to check in and see." I called back the next morning just to make sure that, the money and everything had wired in. She picked up the phone and she said, "Kyle, just want to let you know, thank you so much for doing this. We received I think it was, $22,000. We received the $22,000 that was to be wired to them. Like, we received the money, and I just want you to know that, my husband literally broke down crying and just wanted to say thank you whenever he saw that the money was in the bank account." So those are the kind of stories that I love doing this business. Obviously, I hate the fact that they were in that position, but I was happy that I was able to help them at least avoid the biggest pain point of a foreclosure, which is losing everything that they've put into that house. At least they were able to recover something. And they were also able to avoid the foreclosure. So, if they made a decision to, buy another house in the future, they were able to do so. That's not like a unique case. I've helped multiple people that are facing foreclosures achieve that same goal. Again, my name is Kyle Sasser, the Ashlar Home Team. If you know someone who is facing foreclosure, please book a chat with me down below. The contact links down below. I will be happy to at least have a conversation with you. And then you can make the decision on if, selling the house is the right move for you. And I can usually put together a decent estimate for what the end results looks like, because there are usually, fees and penalties depending upon where you're at in the process. The bank just loves doing that. But I've done this enough times that I can kind of, give a pretty good estimation for what the final number would be. If you know somebody who is facing foreclosure, you can either share this video with them, or you can just share my contact link with them and say, "Hey, you should maybe talk to this dude." Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Kyle Sasser, and I'll talk to you soon.